Good evening, good morning, good afternoon. Literally coming live. Who's there? What you doing? What you guys up to? Well, I really should have mentioned something because it's super sad. Is another church. This was a synagogue. Um, had some kind of lunatics go in Michigan, and it's pretty concerning. I don't know if I heard it was Bloomfield Hills area or near there. It's about an hour, oh no, a full hour away, but um, I don't know if this is just violent youth. I haven't looked into it because unfortunately, sadly, I don't think it's going to be the last, the last one. So, um, also, I don't know why I can't get the messages up, like why I can't see if people are doing a message. Um, I can't find where that would be. So I'm not able to interact if anyone does a chat. Uh, so I wanted to read Don't Forget to Sing the Lifeboats. And there is like a weird light. It's a candle. So it's right there. I guess you could dim your lighting on your phone. It would probably go away. This is about holding on to grief too long. It is foolish to tear one's hair in grief as though sorrow would be made less by baldness. Marcus Tullius Cicero. And my hope is to remember to pray for our safety, to pray that you're aware. So now it looks like I have a thumbs up, but I don't see anyone here. And like I said, I don't see where I can do the message thing. All right, so I'm back. Who's here? Can you message? Oh, it did. Now the messages came up. Hello. And then how come I can't? Am I able to respond from here? How are you? Where are you tuning in from? All right, so nowadays most people die of a sort of creeping common sense and discover when it is too late that the only things one never regrets are one's mistakes. Oscar Wilde, writer. The last one about tearing as though sorrow would be made less by baldness. Marcus Tullius Cicero, a statesman. To survive, it is often necessary to fight, and to fight, you have to dirty yourself. George Orwell, writer. So I don't know any of the story behind this synagogue. Obviously, it's a violent, demonic act for anyone to go into a place of worship and attack. So I don't know who did what, when, and where. But Eris, I had wondered if you're real and if you're and where you're from. And you don't have to say like a specific spot, just like a region, even like Midwest, out west, another country. I was just curious. There is no education, adversity. Benjamin Disraeli, British Prime Minister. I'm reading out of Don't forget to sing on the lifeboats by Catherine and Ross Petras, Petras. Always have a vivid imagination, for you never know when you might need it. J.K. Rowling, writer. Always do right. This will gratify some people and astonish the rest. Mark Twain, writer. If you can keep your head when all about you are losing it, like all around you are losing it, it's just possible you haven't grasped the situation. It ain't enough, that was by Jean Kerr, writer. It ain't enough to get the breaks, you gotta know how to use them. Huey P. Long, politician. If you're going through hell, keep going. Winston Churchill. Get to the other side. This is a pretty long one. It's The Silver Lining, Federico Fellini, film director. If ours is truly an apocalyptic time, it may promise a new beginning rather than an end. We cannot go on living with stale ideas. Certainly, we are faced with an extreme psychological test. The way to pass it is to accept the idea that life has rebelled and plunged us into such uncertainty because we have too long humiliated it. A season of change does not necessarily mean the collapse of civilization. And one more, and we're going to pray by all those affected by any sort of violence, mob violence, attacks, the out of control ICE, all of it. We're going to pray about that. Frederick Douglass, abolitionist and activist. If there is no fighting back, if there is no struggle, there is no progress. Those who profess to favor freedom and yet depreciate agitation, want crops without plowing up the ground. They want rain without thunder and lightning. They want the ocean without the awful roar of its many waters. Power concedes nothing without a demand. It never did, and it never will. Frederick Douglass. Very interesting. So we have two visiting, one going. I'm just reading out of Don't Forget to Sing in the Lifeboats. And I will try to just continue to. Well, hello there, Tommy Johnson. And what region are you visiting from? You don't have to say exact, just curious. If Eris is real, they didn't say. Just gonna pick one randomly again. And some people think that as soon as you plant a tree, it must bear fruit. We must allow it to grow a bit. Tunku Abdul Rahman Putra, politician. Get action, seize the moment. Man was never intended to become an oyster. Theodore Roosevelt, U.S. President. As long as there is one upright man, as long as there is one compassionate woman, the contagion may spread and the scene is not desolate. Hope is the one thing left to us in a bad time. E.B. Webb writer. Life's a bitch. You've got to go out and kick ass. Maya Angelou writer. When one's expectations are reduced to zero, one really appreciates everything one does have. Stephen Hawking, physicist. 99% of the failures come from people who have the habit of making excuses. George Washington Carver, scientist and inventor. I'm just reading out of this. With enough insider information and $1 million, you can go broke in a year. Warren Buffett, investor. In 3 words, I can sum up everything I've learned about life. It goes on. Robert Frost, poet. Things I've learned. There are some people that if they don't know you, you can't tell them. Louis Armstrong, I like that. Explaining yourself. Well, I'm going to go. Just wanted to pop on. I'm going to do a quick prayer for all those that are in potential harm's way or for an escape if there's a safer location. I certainly don't want to be one to say don't go gather at church and stuff. I mean, but if the monitoring of violent actors is not being seen soon enough, and this is the prayer right now, then there needs to be wisdom or added security or protection, or I would hate to say, unfortunately, meeting online or coming up with a better plan for safe synagogue gatherings. I mean, it's not even something that a person should have to be saying. That they can't even go to church or to meet at their synagogue or wherever they're going in peace. Where we used to be able to go to church and it was a sanctuary of rest, a break from the world. And so I just pray for comfort and peace to those that were affected, or they have a loved one that they've lost or was injured in any current right now or tonight or tomorrow or yesterday or the day before any violent attacks or were affected by the loss of a loved one. I pray that there is a hedge of protection around you and more angels to protect you and your family and to give you discernment and wisdom in times of threat. Amen. Hope you all have a good day.